to record. Hello and welcome back. It's not Friday night, it's Monday night, a special day and time for And Just Like That. We are
And
here.
just like that, we're back together.
Just like that. I know you're waiting for us, but we're here to talk about And Just Like That, the after show, episode 6 of season 3. Right, correct. Oh, yes, kids. Oh, my God. Emily May Heller's here with me. Hello, Miss Emily May.
Well, hello, James Lott Jr. I am happy to be here. It is a wild Monday. I have been on TV since 8 o'clock this morning doing my
Woo.
thing. So this is the last thing of the day, but I'm going to put all my energy in because let me tell you, I've been looking forward to this, having this conversation about this episode because like I said on X, I have so much to say. I have so many deep feelings.
We do. We have a
Which
lot.
we'll get to. But I am happy to be back with the And Just Like That family. So
Yes, we're here,
thank you all
kids.
for watching and listening and all
This
of that.
The last thing of the day.
Yes, I'm
Okay,
sorry.
but I'm gonna put all my energy in.
Oh, wait. Quiet. There you go. Yes. And, I want to tell you, I want to second Emily's saying, we are so happy you guys who missed us. We're like, where are you guys? And I said, we're here. I was supposed to be out of town. That didn't happen because my mother and all kinds of stuff going on. But we are here to talk about this show that is cuckoo crazy this episode. And Emily May's been online all day. She's been doing TV all day. So
I've been doing TV all day. And thank goodness, James, we didn't do Friday because I don't know what's up with what's going on with me, but I was sick again all week.
Oh, dang, okay.
I had a fever, like 102 fever.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah, for like 2 days. So I pushed through and I got
You
through
look
all the
great.
weekend
You look great.
shows.
You look great.
And I'm still a little phlegmy. I'm sad I don't have my sexy voice for you.
I know. Where is it? I know. Hello.
And I can easily just bring it back and just say hello, everyone. This is the And Just Like That after show with James Lott Jr. and Emily May. See, I have a little phlegm still.
A little bit. Well, Diane C., who's always sort of says, happy to see you both. She's back.
Hi,
Thank
Diane.
you, Diane. She's asking about us. Yeah, we're here. We're here, Diane. We have a few others who join us usually on our Friday nights. Maybe they'll find us tonight. So, but anybody who's watching later, we appreciate that too. Don't worry, we appreciate that too. Okay, we're going to dive right in, but we have to dive right in. I know we want to talk about that one big story, but we can't even go there yet. We got to talk about the storyline that broke the internet today and yesterday. The faux pas in Lisa Todd Wexley's father. Oh my God. So if this, okay.
Oh my God. Break it down. Break it down.
Okay. So, oh my God. So, okay. So they made a mistake in continuity. This is a major mistake they made.
This is a major mistake. This is like.
Everybody's like, James, we have to talk about it, of course. We're going to start with it. Okay. If there was no mistake, and it was like just it would have been a good storyline episode for today. It just because it got clouded because, folks, in season 1, if you had forgotten, they said her dad had died.
Yep.
Then in season 2, he was on the show for an episode, played by Billy D. Williams.
Yep.
Now in season 3, they've killed him again.
Yep.
So that's seriously, people mad. Everybody's talking about it. I wonder how. Girlfriend, what do you think?
Everyone's talking about it, and what's crazy is, as it was happening, I was like, "Wait a second."
Yeah, me too.
And I was like, "Wait, like you get that weird feeling where you're like, it's kind of deja vu, but you're like, wait a second." But it wasn't quite fully deja vu because we didn't experience that whole thing. And I'm like, wait a second, we just saw the dad.
Yeah.
And we saw all the parents, and then wait. And then it slowly came back to me. I was like, wait, her dad died already.
Right.
And then I saw people talk about it, and then I saw like Entertainment Weekly.
Tonight, talked about it. Variety brought it up.
All these people. And I'm like, oh God, I was like, we're right. Oh my God. How can someone, so did we check? Did someone do homework to see if it was the same writer through those episodes? Do we have
everybody in chat, if you know the answer, please tell us.
I guess I should have done my homework, but I was like, maybe if there's different writers each season, but also Sarah Jessica Parker is an executive producer.
They all are.
They all are. You think you would look and be like, wait a second, unless they totally wanted to forget about it and be like, whatever, we're going to do this. They could have found a different minor character to kill off. Kill off a bread boy from Anthony or something, you know?
Hi, Jenna Ann Martin. Hello to you too. We're back. Yes, we're back.
Yeah, kill someone off that's like, you know, but this was like, they could have picked any other parent.
Well, I think what they were trying to do, I don't know. I'm not a writer, folks, on the show. I'm not a writer on the show. Let me get this. But I think what they were trying to do is show Charlotte and Harry's situation versus her situation. Because you even said in the episode, we'll get to that storyline, of course, which was the sad part, sad one. They said he was okay. And he goes, oh, I get it. And they told me I was okay. That was healthy other than the can. Like, they're trying to make a correlation.
I know. Well, they could do that.
I know.
They could do that in another way with a different character. So, like, I remember, it also reminded me, remember we talked about this, I don't know if we talked about it last after show episode or the episode before that, but it was about parents. And remember how we've never really seen any of the Sex and the City crew's parents minor, like we saw, I think we know Miranda's mom died. Because it's that really strong episode, and that felt very random too, where it was like all of a sudden. So they could have done that with any of these characters if they really wanted to. They could have picked any other character than her to do it.
Well, you saw his mother was on the show. Bitch. They could have killed her.
It could. I know. It could have been. I mean, maybe she has an episode later on. They couldn't.
But you know what I mean? It's like it could have. You're right. It could have. I mean, the point was whoever. Okay. We know on some shows that are long running. Sometimes there are a few things, you know, and we also know about, because I do all the Star Wars stuff, you know, Star Wars, all the Marvel, DC. Sometimes they change things, take things out of canon, retcon. We know that stuff.
And like Friends, you've watched Friends, you've seen like everyone's birthdays sometimes change. You're like, wait, that was a September birthday or a March birthday. Wait a second.
That happens.
They were 30 for 3 seasons. Like it, you know, those things happen, especially when you're running for 10 years.
Yes. But this kind of weird. And there's usually somebody, I mean, I don't they have somebody who usually has continuity. There's usually somebody on the head writing staff usually is the one that when they outline the seasons, here's a little, I won't get into the weeds, folks, but there's usually head writer or writers, then there are breakdown writers. And so with the breakdown, they break it down by, you know, outline it. Then they have script writers who actually write the scripts. Sometimes it's the same persons, sometimes it's farmed out, but it's usually a head writer or writers who, with the producers, as Emily May said a second ago, go over storyline arcs for the season for all the characters. So I think somewhere in there they forgot.
Yeah. And that's why I think there's different people doing it. You have different people doing it.
Yeah, we gotta look that up. We'll look
let's look it up. We'll do some homework afterwards. But that's one thing is like I've mapped out, and I'm sure I don't know if you've done this, but I'm sure you have. But when I was working on some scripts and series, I had this big board on this wall, and I map it all out, and I was like, here's the characters, here's the act 1, act 2, act 3. You break it up, and you know like where those people are within that story, what those beats are, and what you're gonna have that what are those major things that are gonna happen, and then you kind of place them within that act 1, act 2, act 3 structure.
Yep.
Super simple screenwriting, right? Screenwriting 101. Someone didn't do their homework.
They didn't, and so I just thought, all righty, kids, it's something else. But
how do you feel about the fans reacting and totally saying that like they're gonna stop watching the show?
That's dumb. Sorry, folks. You know, I say things plainly. I think that's dumb. I think so. They made a faux pas. One storyline. It still had some good acting in it. Jennifer Lewis, my girl, was on there. I love her.
Yeah.
I mean, it was an interest. And then of course the men meet. There was some stuff that happened that's still important to the show.
Yeah.
And Diane C says the show explained that the dad in the season 1 was her stepfather. So I don't remember that. No one seems to remember that, Diane C. Interesting.
Wait, so season 1, when she
died, it was her stepfather, not her father, apparently. So when he came in season 2, that explained why he was alive suddenly.
Okay, that is.
So you know what? No one remembers that Diane for some reason. I don't remember that either.
I don't remember her. I remember her saying father or
Yeah.
dad.
Which, people do when
But
they
I
have
do,
kids.
like, I call my stepmom my mom, so I
Right.
get
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
But that's some sloppy. That's
It's
some.
still kind of tricky, Diane, but that's good. Thank you, Diane, for telling us. I mean, I don't remember that.
All right, we're gonna go back. I'm gonna be like
Yeah.
a little investigative reporter.
Yes. So next episode, we'll bring it up. In the beginning,
Next episode, I'll report back to the And Just Like That fans. I'll report to E Entertainment. I will give them the full scoop.
Inside Edition.
Right here. And this is why you need to watch the official And Just Like That after show.
Thank you. Us.
The dart.
But to answer the next question again, just to continue, Craig, I don't. Mistakes happen. I still enjoy the show. I'm not going to stop watching the show. It happens. It literally happens, and gotta give some grace, make some fun out of it, and then move on to the next thing. Because I said the rest of the storyline itself, having Jennifer Lewis on it was great. The whole over the top thing, which had a whole thing about not being there at the end where your father may need you, to him being out there for everybody else. When she was like, I'm getting an email blast about my own father. That was hilarious, kind of. Like, it was just like, that's very Sex in the City, what they did. And that's come with Pippin. I remember I saw Pippin. And it was, simple, and, understated. And it was totally everything it wasn't. But I thought it was, I mean, that storyline was sad, but the men met real briefly. He's married. So we heard about that.
Yes.
Marion is married.
And did he say partner or wife?
I can't remember. He said wife. He did say wife. Okay. He did say wife. Because he goes, "Oh, you have a wife."
That was the conversation. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. See, but
he's married. But you saw that quick scene where he was like, "I'm glad I'm here. You're so intuitive. You're so good." And he's like, "I wouldn't want to do this to anybody else." And she looked, and it went to another scene.
I'm telling you, there's some spark flying.
I think so too. So I don't know about that one, but that was fun. So we had to talk about that first, everybody. Just had to get that out the way. That was just kind of a right. So, but we'll move into, because it's related on some level, and that is Harry and Charlotte. And the question we asked like 3 episodes ago has fully been answered. Now they're in their serious phase. This is the serious arc right now. It is serious, and they brought back Bitsy. We love Bitsy. Like, oh,
I honestly thought Bitsy died. I really was like, they're just bringing back all the characters, aren't they?
No, because it was Nathan Lane's character who died. It was her husband.
Exactly. Then I remembered. But like when I first saw her, I was like, no, Bitsy's alive. And then I was like, Nathan Lane's character died. And then didn't they have a kid? She was pregnant when Charlotte was trying to have her baby.
Yes.
And it was like, you're like 80. Why are you having a baby? I remember Charlotte freaked out.
Remember that? Yes. That's what it was. But Bitsy Van Mufflin.
It looks good.
Looks great. Same actress, everybody. Same actress. She looks great out there all these years. And she's going through, am I being cut out of society? That was hilarious, kind of. A little subplot. So like, I was like, poor Bitsy. So they had the tea time at Tiffany's, which I love Tiffany's. I have Tiffany jewelry. The Tiffany's in San Francisco is great. Tiffany's in New York is great. I've been to both. I've had breakfast at both Tiffany's kids. I have had that.
I know. I just walk with a pastry by the window. That's all.
Oh yes, I know. That's and they went there, you guys. It was actually, they were at Tiffany's. I want you guys to know that was really Tiffany's. And it was so cute, open air. Just the whole thing was just it was so beautiful. So, but Charlotte is trying to hide it because her husband doesn't want anybody to tell anybody. She's running into people wherever she goes, seems like. But the whole Lisa Todd thing really, I mean, it really got to her. And it's funny because he has 2 choices. And this is for real. Anybody who went through somebody who's a man, I've been through several people who had prostate cancer. Between radiation and surgery, it is true. You could have erectile problems, or you can have bowel problems. That's completely all true. And I'll tell you, my stepdad, he rest in peace. He passed. He died from something else, but he had prostate cancer and survived it. He said he had erectile problems, but he was like, "I'm done anyway." It's like, that's a joke. I'm done. I had enough women in my life. I'm good. So he was good. But he said that it was, and you can have AIDS for, they get things for that if you have to, whatever. But the point was, prostate cancer anymore. That's the whole thing. And my mom is 5 years remission from her breast cancer. Thank you, Jesus. And so she chose surgery, not radiation.
Mm.
And so it was better on her body because the
Yeah.
chemo is really rough, folks. It's really, everybody's body's fixed differently. She had a lumpectomy in both breasts, and they actually got it all out.
Oh, wow.
She
Yeah,
takes one little thing out.
Yeah, I know there's like tons of options now for all types of cancers. You can do like surgery to remove the area that is has those abnormal cells. And then a lot of people recommend, doctors recommend now an additional like local radiation. So it's a little bit different. And you can get that radiation just to like zap those cells a little bit more, give it that extra boost so it's like hopefully not going to come back. So I know there's lots of options. And so I know Harry and Charlotte, they're going through that conversation, which is obviously a really difficult conversation to have, a very sensitive topic. It's about his quality of life with his wife, that well-being. And also, I think, and I know you could probably speak to this a little bit more, probably a lot on your mental health and manhood of like, is this going to affect my relationship with my wife and just how I feel? It's your manhood. There's like a lot of mental connection and physical connection to it.
Emily May is correct. For men, our nether region is very important to us. That's where we store a lot of our. It comes from there. No matter how you like it or not like it, it comes from that area down there. And for a lot of men, losing their hair or losing that down there, those are the worst things that can ever happen to a man. I mean, seriously, I know so many men who are jealous of my hair because I have all this hair. I don't have to. I'm fine. But I mean, but down there, if we all lose feeling down there, it's very psychological.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's a physical thing, it's a psychological thing.
No, but I was gonna say also on the flip side, women have the same experience if they have to have breast surgery
Oh,
or
I know.
a hysterectomy, things like that.
Yeah.
There's also like on the flip side, if it was reversed, like Charlotte had to go through something like that. We already saw Samantha go through it, had that experience, and that affected her mentally, right? It affected her libido because she had to go through it. So it affects everyone a little bit differently. And so as these characters are getting older, I love how just relatable it is. They're going and talking about relatable topics. I mean, parents don't come back to life, so that they're gonna have to figure that out, figure out that plot hole. But but this sickness and dealing with diagnoses and things like that, like it's all and telling friends and telling family, that's all part of life. And like how they're actually have more grounded storylines.
Well, we were wondering what was going to happen, and it did happen. Like literally,
I told you, I was like, it's coming halfway, and we're about halfway.
And you're correct. You are halfway correct.
I should write. I should be a writer.
You should. You should. No, but it's completely so. Yeah, that's all true. I just want to say for people, for men, get checked. It's also men get checked for breast cancer. Men can get breast cancer too. And women get them breasties checked. Get all that checked. Seriously, I want people to, it's getting more and more common. Everything we eat, we're breathing in. I mean, it's just cancer. It does not care.
Yeah, I mean, they're saying that there is an uptick. I know I don't want to get too much down this road, but I don't remember. Don't quote me on this. I don't remember the exact percentage, but I know it's a huge amount of colon cancer cases happening now in people under 40.
Yes. Yes.
And that's because it's what we're eating, it's what we're taking in. So it's, again, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but it's wild. So
I want to give a shout out to Julian McMahon, who just passed. I was a huge fan of his on Nip Tuck.
Huge fan of him.
And Charmed.
Loved him in Nip Tuck.
And Charmed. He was my age. He was 56, died of cancer. So another cancer thing. I mean, cancer just has no shame. It just has no shame. So I just always told get checked. And for women, especially because you have a uterus, you have stuff down there that really collects all kinds of stuff. It collects things. So you'll make sure you guys get checked down there too, because it's very important. It's very important.
Our little PSA for today.
Yeah, PSA. Just wait. Because they're showing it. I really do think, who knows? I mean, we say something that someone could watch it and be like, wow, maybe I should get checked.
100%. Honestly, like I'm making my appointments.
Well, I'm going to my doctor in 2 weeks, so I'm getting checked. I'm getting checked.
I'm getting all my checks,
Me too. I mean, I'm getting it too.
Because when you feel a little off, you got to trust your body, right? And I've been sick
Yes.
6 weeks, so
They always say, listen to your body. Seriously. If you know something off, you may not be crazy. And I mean, yes, and sometimes there's other factors that make things happen, but and anxiety and stress that can help make things happen too. But sometimes outside of, but when you feel something's wrong, chances are you are right about that. But maybe it may not be as bad as you think. It's maybe just like, oh, I'm a little off. So get checked out. I say, let somebody get checked out. So Charlotte finally, I mean, the whole episode, she's just jittery the whole time.
oh
She
my gosh,
finally,
like something off the screen.
right, I felt it too. Good job, Kristen Davis. She finally, as she's getting Depends, which I'm like, is he there yet already for her to buy? Is she being just too much? I'm like, why is she buying Depends so fast? But that's to see Carrie, and Carrie walks in and tells Carrie.
Yeah, that was one. Oh my god, I don't know why I'm emotional. But that was one of the moments because I've had really dear friends where they've not told me something until they're ready, right?
Oh yeah.
And then sometimes it gets to that point where you just literally there's no words. And you just give them a hug and you hold them and you hold them tight and you hold them as long as you need, as long as they need. And so that moment was so real for me. And I think for many people. And I know we had all this other, we're joking about the continuity stuff, but like there's real stuff. Like there's people that really have cancer and really are sick and or with whatever disease and just holding on to that or have been through whatever. And just that moment of just her holding her friend. Like there's no judgment.
Nope.
There's none of that. It is just pure like I am here for you. And like you don't get that very often. Like you don't have many friends that would literally hold you for as long as you need it.
Yes.
So
As she said,
that got me.
yeah, as you said, I'll be your vault. I won't say anything.
Yeah.
I won't say anything. You can. So now Charlotte has a release. She can actually talk
Mhm.
to
And I love
somebody.
that. And I love that. I love that wording of like I am your vault because think about all of these girls have all these secrets with each other for each other. They'll, you know, die for each other. And that's like you don't your group gets smaller as you get older and the fact that they've been able to hold on, you
Yeah.
know.
I hope we get. I hope we get some kind of message from Samantha to her.
I know. That's what I was thinking too. Because someone that's been through it, I feel like we need to hear from Samantha.
So hopefully they get back to her and she'll send some like a message or something. That'll be kind of nice.
Yeah.
So we're gonna wait and see how the storyline goes. I mean, it is they're in the middle of a serious storyline, kids, and it's and just great acting all around. And I with Harry, I get it. He wants to watch his game. Like he's not dead yet. That's his point. He's going through it, and I know this whole story because I'm going through it right now. Everybody around you's freaking out. Like you're the one going through it. It's like that happens too sometimes. You're calming them down. He's like, I missed the, he's watching the game. And like for men, we process stuff differently.
Mm-hmm.
We just do. We're not the same as women. We don't process the same.
And like Harry wants some normalcy. He's like, I just
Yes.
do my normal things. I'm not there where you're at yet. Like, just
Yes.
let me be. And I could see where he's just like, let me watch my game. No one bother me. Yeah.
That's me. If I'm going to do something, I'm a football fan, so I turn on and see my Steelers. I'm good to go for the afternoon football in the afternoon. I'll just have an awesome times. Even other games, I'll just have them on. Or a certain comedy, I'll put that comedy on and do a marathon, have it on the background when I want to feel just normal.
Mm-hmm.
So I totally get that. So that was kind of tough. So that's good. So they better not kill him. I swear to all that is holy. If they kill him, I probably won't do the show. I'll probably fall apart. I don't know if I'll be able to do the show if they kill him. Because he's such like Steve. He's part of the team. He is part of Sex and the City.
I know. The thing is, remember I told you I had that theory about Aiden?
I know you did. I know.
Right? I was right this episode.
I know.
And we'll get to it. But I do have this inkling that something might happen with Harry. Like it might get really bad and then he's fine, but I don't know.
F trying to cuss.
I know my theories have been right. This
They
whole
happen. They happen. I know. They happen to see. I'm like, F me. That's all I gotta say about that. I'm like, I'm not ready. I'm really not ready. I'm not. I'm telling you, I'm not ready.
I don't think so. I think it might get. I think they have to get. There might be some
I'll
tough.
take that. I'll take some drama. Yes, I'll take that. But if they go, he didn't make it. So yeah, I don't.
We don't have to get there yet. We don't have to get there yet.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, a storyline that's actually fun and kind of funny and loving is the Miranda storyline with Joy and Sappho and Socrates and Brady. So I thought it was funny. So she stayed. She was kind of staying with her for a little bit. Those dogs are so cute and hilarious. I love it. And her and Joy have this great banter. I love the banter. It's they're making jokes about being a lesbian, the whole, the whole a U-Haul, you're married, on their second date, like all that stuff. It's hilarious. And also just they just talk.
Yeah.
I'm like, so we were saying how they matured. They just talk about stuff. It just comes out, they talk, and her joke about you need to get out and all this stuff. And they say, no, you really can stay if you want to. But when they had that talk about kids before she met Brady, the old days, that would again go back to the old Sex and the City.
Those conversations would never happen because they would be like, "Oh, we don't even date anyone with kids. We don't even talk to them. We don't look at them." So I felt like it was honest and it's a more grounded relationship where because with Che, it was just all physical. There wasn't really an emotional. I mean, there was maybe an emotional attachment, but it wasn't really like intellectual. It was just all physical. So this one's really a mixture of both, and it's a really good balance. So that's what I'm finding the difference in the first few seasons.
And they talk about stuff, and she's like, I may not be into kids. Miranda's trying to find a place to live, and she thinks about the dogs, which is kind of cute. But I love that way. I love that when Brady came, right before Brady came, she's like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm on the fence. I don't know. And when Brady went straight to the dogs, I'm that kind of person too. I mean, we love dog lover. If you're a dog lover, then you're in.
I love animals. If I see it, I'm going to go to the dog first.
Me too. Me too. I love when he said that. I guess I should talk to you. He's like, oh no. She's like, that's fine. Talk to the dogs. That's how I am to like to talk to that you're good. It means you're a good person. Dogs like you. You're a good person. So I like that they're. Because he's not a kid. He's still young, but she's trying to find a place for both of them. This kind of ties. It melds into Seema's story, and I just want to talk about the Seema part of her. Says she's going to find a place for her, and she's right there. I found you the perfect apartment. It was very cute. But she's telling her you gotta go overpriced, and I know that. That's something that's normal. That's normal in any big city. You have to kind of go overpriced to get it. Miranda's like, that's a trick. We know it's a trick. And I thought for sure that was done. She's not gonna get the house. She's gonna get the apartment. But she went back to it later and got it. I mean, she said, I'll take it. I'll go 150 over. But it's just kind of funny. That is, folks, if you ever bought a house or an apartment, you usually bid. Nowadays, you got to bid higher to actually. I know it's a ripoff. I totally get it. But you kind of have to.
You have to bid higher, and then sometimes they still don't take it because they might find someone that has a full cash offer or something crazy.
Right. Yeah, there's that too, right? They'll take cash. I got cash. Okay, we'll take it. Yeah. That's true too. I don't know. My thing for this, because it wasn't a huge episode for her. It was just really nice to see that she's proceeding nicely with this nice, intelligent woman. Now she has a place to live. So it worked out between her and Seema. It didn't fall. I'm thinking, oh no, it's gonna be just so bad. It didn't fall apart. Brady likes her. I'm like, okay. So far, she's in a good arc right now. She's like in a nice little. I guess it's right now it's Charlotte's turn, I guess, and Carrie's turn. So right now we'll get there, and then I know we're gonna get there, girl. And so this is this is her good arc right now. I think it's like everything's fine. She's having sex. She had a good time. Life is good. They're melding together. The dog's the kid. So I think we're good. I think we're good with her right now. I think. And so there's nothing really much to say about that. But Seema, had to say goodbye to her driver at her car.
They had to throw
Touch me in the morning. Don't just walk away. Yeah.
Oh, I have to give up my Mercedes.
I know.
No.
So get my vanity plates. I was laughing.
Oh my
Um,
God.
like, don't get out. I was
I'm
like,
so not like that at all. Like, even if I had money, you wouldn't even know.
I
Like, you'd just be
know,
like,
I know. And the thing is, come on, hi Gail,
oh,
in the chat. The thing is, this is the part where they go a little too far for comedy, I guess. Like you
yes.
said, you took an Uber. Like, girl, you took an Uber. And number one, you're not that out of touch. Wearing heels and walking so many blocks, it doesn't work. I mean, come on.
No, okay. We both lived in New York. We know I
Yes.
always brought my heels for work and my walking shoes for
Yes.
after.
Yes.
Like, you always bring your other pair of
Yes,
shoes, like, and then you
always.
put on your cute shoes. I don't like this. That was where I was like, you've lived in New York long enough, you know.
Yeah, you should know. Like, you wouldn't go on this path train or somebody in heels. Like, you just wouldn't do that. No one does that.
No.
So I was like, and even men, we have tennis shoes. We change shoes. I have shoes I was wearing out there. Plus, it's gross in New York. You don't want to wear your good shoes out in the street, in the subway or whatever. So I don't know. I thought that was a little far fetched, but they try to make comedy out of it a little bit, which sexually always clumsily does sometimes. Sometimes they're really funny, laugh out loud funny, and sometimes you're like, okay, it's a stretch. That's a little bit of a stretch. We get it. She has no money. We get it. She's starting over. That's the thing. Oh, Janice wants to say, Jenna and Gail are actually mother and daughter in our chat. And
Oh, okay.
Jenna is 38 years old today.
Happy
Happy
birthday.
birthday, Miss Jenna Ann. Thank you for sharing your 38th birthday with us. Let's see. Do I have any advice? I was 38 like 100 years ago. I got advice for you. So 37 through 40 were really transformative years for me, Jenna Ann. For me, my kids by then were now out of high school. They were leaving high school, and I became a grandfather at the time. First time. But besides that, I felt like it was my turn to do what I want now. I didn't have to take jobs anymore just because I was handling kids. So, and I lived in San Francisco, and it was very expensive. But I was coming back to LA. I got into the entertainment business at 37, 38. My first show I did was House, and I was 38 years old. And I was bitten by the bug. I was telling you, those were some really good years leading to 4. It's like those 3 years. So your next 2 years, I think, should be really good. Listen, like you said, listen to your gut, listen to your heart, listen to your mind. That's my birthday wish. Your birthday wish for May?
Have some fun. Embrace the unexpected.
See,
Go have some sex in the city.
no, really, and just like that,
Yeah, just like that.
go have some sex in the city. That's right, kid. So we want to tell you congratulations. You made it. You made it.
Yeah.
You're 38 years young. Think of it that way. So there you go. I have a daughter turning 38 this year, so I don't know how that happens either. Crazy.
Oh my God. Really?
I do. My daughter changed it. She's the older one. She turns 38. I know. I have a daughter, but my other daughter will be 37 in January. I'm like, I don't know how old I am at this point.
You had them very young.
I did. I had them after high school. I was young. I was a late teenager. Yes, I was. I was out of high school, folks. I was out of high school. Didn't have no baby at prom, and I was after high school. I had them. But no. So, my birthday, thanks for joining us, and everybody else who's 8 people are watching. Hi guys, thank you guys for following us. Well, now it's time for the main storyline. 33 minutes in, it's now time.
This is what everyone wants to talk about.
They do. They want to talk about the Lisa Todd thing first in real life. That was a real life thing.
That's true. That was.
Now we're going to talk about this real life REEL story. I got no cards. I don't even need them. Come over here. I don't even need them because you know what happened, kids. Firstly, I will say this part as we're getting into it. Like you said, Carrie actually was a mature one in this situation. And I was very impressed with her. She didn't go the way I thought she was going to go. I just want to say that part out loud. Okay. So the storyline, folks, if you didn't watch it, I know some of you guys say you watch us, you don't watch, so you watch us. The recap is Aiden comes to town. There's a little nod to the past with the pebble on the window, but he breaks the window. He's acting weird, though. Like, seriously weird the whole.
So weird. Oh my God.
She said, "Why is he still acting weird?" But he was acting so weird. And I was just like, "Is he feeling out of place? Is he just feeling like I did expect what I was about to hear, but I was just like, okay, he's acting a little, but he's getting acclimated. whatever. And he was really focused on that window, replacing the window, and doing the way he wants to do it, and going shopping, and he wouldn't have sex. All this stuff was not happening. They were clogged up because he was focused. But I'm like, so when Wyatt went to decide he wanted to go to this camp for a week and blah blah, blah I'm like, oh my god. But it turns out he didn't. So that's the recap, kids. Then what the big bombshell is? Are you guys ready for this? If you didn't watch, spoiler alerts all over the place. Aiden slept with Kathy. He cheated on her. Okay, that's the recap. I'm supposed to say that's the recap. So Carrie. Oh, sorry, my brother. Okay. So I was like, they're going that direction. And then the aftermath is they talk it through, they have sex, everything. So now we can dig in. That's just a recap. Anybody wants to know, if you didn't watch, that's the recap. Emily May's go in. Emily May, when you heard everything else doesn't even count at this point. He met Duncan, the whole thing. That doesn't even count. He cheated on her. What are your thoughts, girl? I know.
I knew this was going to happen. Remember that birthday party scene happened? And after that episode, I had this feeling. I said, there's something going on. Yeah. Either Aiden is still with his ex-wife or something is going on. And I knew it when Aiden showed up and was like obsessed with that window and was not focusing on Carrie and not in the moment. I was like, something happened. He's either lying, he's hiding something. And then when that bombshell dropped of him sleeping with Kathy, I was like, come on, Aiden. You are better than that. They ruined his character.
I agree.
They ruined his character. And then I started thinking, well, is this long-term revenge from Aiden? I'm like, maybe Aiden had all this pent-up anger and frustration and then needed to like get it all out. And so he's like, ooh, this is my long-term game. I'm like, I don't think men are that smart.
I know. We're not.
And first of all, I was talking to Brandon about this. And I told him, and I was like, Aiden cheated on her and slept with the ex-wife. And Brandon, and I asked him, I said, do you think this is long-term? Like, because Aiden was cheated on by Carrie. And then we were having this whole conversation. And Brandon said, men aren't that petty.
We're not. No.
So, no, that isn't long-term strategy. And I was like, yeah, you're right. I think, honestly, you guys are like short-term gains where you're like, let me get laid and then we're good.
Yes.
Not thinking like 6 months from now.
No. We're not. He's absolutely correct with them. We're not. We're not. We're not that smart. We don't about that.
No. We were having a very deep conversation about this moment, and I was so mad. Carrie's response, I'm also mad at.
Oh, okay. Well, because she's okay. We'll stop there. I'll catch up to you. I agree with everything everybody said.
And then we'll stop. Okay.
Yeah, then we're gonna go to the response. That's an important part of her response. Is very important. Everything Emily May said, I agree with. I felt like they ruined Aiden's character. I don't care if it's years later and they're trying to make a point like, oh, sorry, my lighting. They're trying to say like now they're even. No. I don't know if they're trying to do something where they're trying to show Carrie's growth. I'm not sure why they chose. Again, the writers' room sat down for the season and they wrote the storyline arc out, and they said at some point, and Carrie's going to find out Aiden cheated. Now, she has the ex-wife had a boyfriend. He's by himself. They're not even sleeping together in the same room or nothing.
They've been together for 4 years.
Right. So I'm like, so I was like, this is to me lazy. To me, rough storytelling. This is unnecessary storytelling. I was literally angry.
And I was super angry. And also, Oh, I had a thought and it totally went out of my head.
Well, I think if you want conflict, there's so many things you can do for conflict. You don't need them to sleep with Kathy.
Yeah.
That was unnecessary.
No, and oh, this is the thought I had. Remember the table got delivered?
Yes.
And I was like, oh, that's a sweet gesture. And I'm wondering if that table was a gesture of trying to save, like, oh, let's do this real quick. And then the window was another save of like, if I fix this, then this other thing isn't going to be so bad. So I have a feeling it was happening more and more often than we think. I don't think it was one time.
Diane C says, I felt like Aiden cheated on all of us.
Oh, that's a good way to put it. I felt totally distraught and upset. I feel like I got my heart broken too.
Yeah. That's literally what it was, right? That's literally what it was.
Oh, because we were all rooting for Aiden.
I
We were
know.
rooting for Aiden back in the series. We were rooting for Aiden in Abu Dhabi. We were rooting for Aiden now. And he let us down.
He did. He did. So I'm like, so now we're caught up to the response.
Brandon, he's like, I could hear him. He's hearing my yelling.
I love it. I know you're still here. I feel like Carrie could not respond any other way than that by saying, I get it. Because if she got angry, okay, I want to hear your perspective, but I just want to say really quick, the two things could have happened. She could have gotten angry and said, like everything you just said, like how after everything we just went through, how could you?
Mm-hmm.
But it almost felt like she had to be a mature woman and say, I get it, because she'd be a hypocrite if she got mad. So now I'm going to hear your thoughts, because I was like, there's two things going on. Like, it kind of shows she's grown. Or she went into that whole thing about, oh, we can say that's another step too. We got step by step. Okay, so this part here,
this moment, her response, yes, it shows growth. Yes, it shows she wasn't as irrational as she was at 37 or 36 or whatever, where she was just like sleeping with whoever big or whatever, and then, breaking people's hearts. Okay, she's not at that point yet, right? Because she's older, right? She already went through a huge heartbreaking loss.
Yes.
So she understands that. But I don't know if this was the most accurate and most reasonable response in the sense of emotions. So either it hasn't hit her yet, and she's going to respond later, and it's going to hit her later, or she's going to break up with Aiden and be like, you know what? I can't wait for you anymore. And it's not going to work out. And then C, go cheat with the writer.
Well, here's the thing. So that brings us to the next step. We have to go step by step, folks, with this, because
it just wasn't a proportionate response. That's how I feel. It wasn't proportionate.
But here's the thing, Emily May. So we go to the next step. This is very layered.
It is very layered. I have plenty of that.
Well, no, she says, this is the part that you're saying. She says, I didn't sign up. Basically, for monogamy this whole time. You think I was going to wait for you for 5 years?
Yeah.
So then that's a whole other story too. It's kind of like, oh, I didn't know they did that either. I know they were doing that either.
So first of all, there needs to be some terms and conditions written out. You got to read the small print, folks.
Right.
Okay, Aiden thought they were monogamous.
Right.
Carrie didn't think they were monogamous. So that begs to differ. Did she sleep with the writer? And we just don't know yet. And is this going to help their relationship? How is it a relationship? Is it an open?
Oh, wait, Emily May.
Is it a fluid? Like,
you just said something that's interesting. At the end, Duncan comes upstairs, just opens the door, and says, "Oh, I come up in the mornings to get sometimes. And I'm giving her my script, my book, my part of my book, my chapter of my book." He just kind of looks at it because the door just he just comes in, and goes, "I come up in the mornings."
There's a comfortability that you don't have with your neighbors.
So what you're saying, I'm just saying what you said a second ago, that ties into the end when he's just like, oh yeah, he was walking upstairs just walking upstairs on his own, and he saw Aiden there, and he's like, come in, and then it's like, and so leaving that script on that table.
Yep.
was a whole thing.
And
But before we do that,
go ahead.
yeah, before we I'll make sure you just say her saying that was another bombshell for us as an audience.
Mm-hmm.
So in a way, it's mature, right, Emily May? In a way, it's modern.
Yeah, it is modern, monogamy, whatever.
But he was free. He cheated on her, and he was freaking out about them.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, we weren't thinking about that when you were cheating on her. I mean, that's not a
I
story.
know. Well, and just like he freaked out, remember when he got all emotional, was like, "You're gonna break up with me?" And it felt like he was like a teenager again. And then here, he was like a teenager again.
So who is
I feel
Aiden?
like Aiden has not grown up, but Carrie has.
So maybe that's it. Maybe you're right. You've been right this whole time anyway. So maybe you're right. This is going to lead to their breakup, where it won't be super dramatic. It'll just be basically we're not compatible anymore.
Yeah.
You can't go
HBO
back.
needs to hire me.
And I know it's like, oh, she already knows what's going on. You already know what's going on. So I have a feeling, but I'm just thinking, for me, it was just kind of like I was still in shock. I was still in shock with the first bombshell. When the second one came, I was still reeling from that one, but then I was like, wait a minute. So in the last 3 or 4 years, had you slept with somebody? Because you said Tony JC comes in. Of course, he's coming at the end. Aiden is trash. I don't see. That's the thing. We said this, Tony, before he came on. They ruined the character of Aiden. Basically, they trashed him. They really did. Now
It made him just seem like not a good guy, like kind of wishy-washy, not like set in his values. I'm like, if you waited this whole time for Carrie and still had feelings for her, and then you freaking mess it up with your ex-wife, that's just dumb.
It's such a
because your son is having a tough mental breakdown time, like having a tough time. I'm sorry, you talk about it. You don't have sex about it.
trust me. We ain't doing anything, and that's it. We have problems with our kids, and it ain't gonna happen. But saying that, but that's an old trope they do on shows.
I know.
In this case, was unnecessary. Aiden and her had enough conflict that we didn't need to add cheating.
But they're living in different states,
right? You mind all that all day long. You don't need, but to have him cheat and then freak out about them, and then care. So then the next day, Carrie has sex with them.
I don't agree with that either.
You don't think it brought them closer? No.
No. I think it was like a goodbye.
Interesting.
Like,
Tony, Marion is going to be busy with Lisa Todd. That's what they did. They're putting it there.
They need to get busy. They need to get busy.
Because he's all Carrie needs to have Marion. I'll be that,
Oh.
So Samantha slept with the black guys, and so did Miranda.
Yeah.
She had Blair Underwood, so they both have had black guys.
Carrie, love you. Bye.
Bye.
Oh.
No, but she kissed a light skinned black guy. Well, he's kind of light skinned.
Carrie never slept with any black guys, did he?
No. But for the Fleetwood episode, he's Latino, kind of. He said he's from Louisiana. He was like a light skinned black guy. His name is Daniel Shinjata in real life. He's actually a mixed race black guy. He was cute, but they only kissed me. But he was talking shit about New York. She goes, "Hey, nobody can talk shit about my boyfriend or my girlfriend in New York," and she doesn't, so she doesn't sleep with them. But Miranda had Blair Underwood, who's hot. I was like, oh my god, why? I'm like, why do you? But we love Steve, so we understood
why.
Those
episodes.
Oh, they were good. And then Samantha was dating that one guy where her and the sister got into a fight.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I remember that.
Remember that? The fusion restaurant.
Yeah.
And the overline was, I guess the only fusion she liked was on a plate. I was laughing so hard. It was so good. But he was hot too. And she goes, I never usually date men with more jewelry than I do. Because the guy he has a bald head, he had the jewelry and the earrings. Oh, it was good. So, but I don't know. I don't know if Carrie would have. I mean, he's hot. I mean, anybody might go for him. So that'd be interesting. But I think it's gonna be Carrie and Duncan because they opened the episode with them having mutton.
Yeah.
So, which I never had mutton before, so I don't know if it's good or bad. I have no idea. And
mutton's very gamey.
Like it's chewing forever.
It's gamey. It's like earthy. It's like gotta really work at it.
He's an earthy. That's crazy.
Very
Yes. But yes, so Carrie sleeps with them, almost like to say, we're together now, we've talked it out. But you're right, maybe it was a goodbye. Because you don't really know what, because what she says, okay, now go back to it. I'm gonna go home, I'll call you when I get home. She goes, you are home. So I think she's still in.
okay. She might still be in right now. I don't
But
know.
the last scene though, she could be out.
I just don't agree with that reaction. Again, I'm processing the feelings of it.
Yeah.
I think we all are, right, as an audience. I
Yeah.
just think it's the direction I did not. Yes, I mentioned that it might happen, but I didn't foresee it actually happening. And so I
She
think
said,
that's
no, folks, you can timestamp. She said on one of our shows, she said it. And I was hoping it wouldn't happen. I was hoping they wouldn't go there. And it's
you should have heard me yelling. Like Brandon thought something was wrong. I was watching because so I watched the show in the other room because he doesn't like the show, and I was just relay to him what happens, and then that's when we have these deep conversations about what happens, um, because he watched the original show with me, and then now I watch this show, cover it with you, um, and
yes.
so we still talk. He still wants to be involved, but not
Okay, that's fine.
actually
Okay.
watch it. So we were debriefing, but he heard me scream in the other room. And so he knows my reaction was not great.
He heard that. Well, I was not happy either. I was like, I don't know what's going on here. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, it's just it's completely it's uh, yeah. I'm completely um in shock they went this direction.
No.
And I really don't I have no predictions because I didn't see this coming. I did not know they were going to do this. So I mean I didn't know. I didn't know they were going to do this.
I honestly think it's gonna be 1 or 2 episodes and then they're broken up.
Okay.
I think it's 1 or 2 episodes.
Okay. Like I just
Yeah.
oh
1 or 2 episodes, and then something's gonna happen with the writer. It's gonna have to happen really soon. It's already happening. They're having lunch or dinner by themselves. They're going through writing. They have those creative fireworks. I think something's gonna happen. You don't introduce a character like that with such charm and not have something happen with them.
yeah, that's true. And I'm very curious about I'm very curious. I just oh
I
it just
know you don't want to see it happen, but because remember we saw um there was those early photos and we already saw the funeral.
right.
Remember we saw Carrie and Aiden hold hands in the nice little outfits and we thought that was a wedding.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, it was a funeral, so those scenes have already happened. We've seen it.
Yes.
So that's when it's like, okay, we had this bombshell. She says he's home. I don't know. I think give it 2 to 3 episodes.
They're all after Big Carrie just need to recycle boyfriends. I mean, there's nowhere. I mean, unless Burger came back, nobody really left. They leave him alone.
Oh my God, Burger and the Post-it. Did you have PTSD from the Post-it?
I know. I know. I know.
Like, is this a message? Is this a breakup message?
I know. I know. Yes. So I know that's. I mean, that's our show. I mean, that's basically what happened. We're kind of sitting here in shock, and I was like, I really am in shock that they went that direction. I was like I said, she thought it was a possibility. Of course, it was a possibility, but I thought that's too convenient. That's too lazy. That's too.
I mean, if Aiden can say that he's cheating, Harry could die.
That's very. You know what, and that's true. And that's very. And so it'll be Charlotte with her girls.
And then he can show up again next season.
That's where we'll end the show right there. That's perfect.
And it was all a dream.
It's all a dream. That's where we'll end the show. That's perfect ending. So keep watching us. We're going to talk right now to figure out what our next episode will be for sure. But we're here. We're going to be here every week. We do our best to be here every week and do the show as usual. So just follow me, of course, and follow you where.
You can follow me on all social platforms at Emily Mayheller. That's Maehiller, Emily Emily. And follow my hosting journey. Big week here in Texas. I wanted to let everyone know real quick before we end that
Okay.
we had major flooding. It's been all over the national news, and it's probably international news at this point, but we've had really bad floods here in Central Texas. I'm about 60 miles, 70 miles away from like the major damage, but we had some huge loss of life, like 11 people died like North Austin from me, which is only a short ways away. So I have a Cameo account. There's a link in my Instagram, and I think it's just Emily May Heller, so you can find it. And I'm donating all of my Cameo. If you request a Cameo, it can be any message, a birthday message, any type of message. I'm gonna do all my proceeds for the next 2 weeks is going to go to the local charities here in Texas to help with that. So I
Put that
wanted
in
to let
put that,
everyone know.
put that in the
Yeah.
description.
So again,
I was gonna say,
yeah. Again, anyway, like I'm gonna try to go collect water and like any food, toiletries, like every small business, every big business here is trying to help out because there's just hundreds of people lost their lives and homes. So yeah, so we're trying to do what we can here. So I wanted to say that before we hop off.
I was gonna mention it actually before we went to you. I was gonna wait till we kind of get this part right. I think because it's California went through with the fire, so I totally understand the whole. I was involved in all that, so I understand that at all. And yeah, my heart goes out to. I've been in a flood before, so I know what it's like to lose everything. It's very tough, and it's very scary. And I saw that I think 11 school children died, and something just like before he came on, and it's serious, folks. I mean, and flooding like fires happens fast.
Yeah,
So
it was unprecedented. Like they literally had no idea. I mean, they knew something was coming, but they didn't think that magnitude. It
you
was
can't predict everything. You can't
it
predict
was
everything.
yeah, I mean it was like over 3 stories
I know. No, I know.
high.
That's what I'm saying.
Wow.
It's like this one school, they lost like 27 students and 11 students, 2017. So it was something crazy, like some number that was just like my heart sunk when I read it.
It's
Uh,
awful.
but yeah, so I want to say, because I guess again in California, we had the fires earlier this year. We know exactly what to lose lives, lose homes. We know what that's like, and so my heart goes out to them too. But I'll put her thing in the description so you can do something for that. Folks, so we'll see you soon, of course. Thanks to all the audio listeners who make our show a huge hit. We love you so much. I keep tagging HBO Max. I keep tagging it just like that. Tag them also for your final shit. Tell them, watch our show. Watch our show. Listen to our show. We talk about it here every week. And I don't see any others out there. So, I think we're one of the few. We love it. Everybody have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you all. Be safe.